All right, let's get right into it. We're about to tackle a huge idea, one that kind of flips what most of us have been taught about money on its head. See, we're told that hard work is what makes you wealthy. But what if that's not the full story? What if it's less about effort and way more about positioning? I mean, this is the question that keeps so many people up at night, right? You do everything you're supposed to do, you work hard, you follow the rules, but you look at your bank account and it just doesn't feel like you're getting ahead. If you've ever felt like you're just running in place, you are definitely not alone. And this really nails the frustration. There's this playbook we're all given. Get a job, earn a steady paycheck, save what you can. But for so many folks, that path leads to a lifetime of feeling financial pressure, not financial freedom. And that gap you feel between all the effort you're putting in and the results you're seeing, it's totally real. And guess what? It's probably not your fault. So let's just call it what it is, the great effort myth. In this first part, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at why the rules for earning a living are completely, fundamentally different from the rules for actually building wealth. This chart really lays it all out. Think about it. Effort is linear. You work an extra hour, you get paid for one extra hour. It's direct, sure, but you can't really scale it. There are only so many hours in a day. Now, positioning, that's more like planting a seed. You do the work up front to put it in the right spot, and then it grows and multiplies all on its own, compounding over time, even when you're sleeping. And this is the absolute key takeaway. Building wealth and earning a paycheck are two different games entirely. It's like one is checkers and the other is chess. They've got different rules, different strategies. And you just can't win the wealth game if you're only playing by the rules of the labor game. So if effort isn't the answer, what is? Well, that brings us to the real engine of all of this, positioning. This is the big idea that changes everything. So let's unpack what that actually means. At its core, positioning is about a huge shift in thinking. You stop being a gear in the system, working for your next paycheck. Instead, you start putting your resources, your time, your money, inside systems that do the heavy lifting for you. It's about setting things up so your assets can multiply, kind of on autopilot. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we make this shift? Well, we need a new set of rules to play by. And our source material lays out 5 really powerful principles for developing this positioning mindset. And here they are. We're going to go through each one. We're talking about shifting from just pure effort to finding a strategic advantage, from making one-off decisions to building automated systems. And yeah, even from just chasing growth to making sure you have a rock-solid foundation first. This quote for our first rule just says it all, doesn't it? It's not about how hard you're paddling the boat. It's about making sure the boat is pointed in the right direction in the first place. You can burn yourself out putting massive effort into something with no real leverage. The real win is finding a small advantage and just consistently applying your effort there. And that leads right into our second rule. The power of these small advantages is just incredible. I mean, think about it. A slightly lower fee on an investment, saving just 1 or 2% more each month, these things feel tiny day to day. But you let that compound over 20 or 30 years, the difference in the outcome is gigantic. It's that quiet consistency that builds real wealth. Okay, rule 3 is about protecting us from our own worst enemy, our emotions. A system is just an automated behavior. Think of an automatic investment that happens every 2 weeks no matter what. That system doesn't care if the headlines are scary or if you're feeling greedy. It just keeps working, protecting your long-term plan from your short-term feelings. And this brings us to rule 4, own, don't predict. Look, trying to pick the next hot stock is stressful, and most people are really bad at it. A much better strategy is to just have broad ownership of productive assets, like an index fund that owns a little piece of the whole market. You don't have to be a genius and be right all the time. You just have to be in the game while the whole system grows. And finally, rule number 5. This one is so important. You can't build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. Before you even think about chasing big returns, you have to be protected from life's curveballs. That means an emergency fund. That means getting rid of high-interest debt. Stability always has to come before growth. It's non-negotiable. All right, so we have these 5 new rules. How do we actually use them to build a strategy that works today? It really comes down to forgetting about all the noise and focusing only on the few things you can actually control. And you know what? It really just boils down to these 3 things. First, time. How long can you let your money work for you without touching it? Second is return. How efficiently can you make that capital grow? And third, and maybe most importantly, is structure. The systems you build to make sure you apply your strategy consistently, day in and day out. So the real goal here is just to tune out the noise.
Forget the 24/7 market drama. Ignore the scary headlines designed to make you panic. Instead, pour all that energy into building and tweaking your own automated, repeatable financial processes. That's where your true power is.
So when you put all these pieces together, it's not just about a new tactic or two. It really demands a fundamental shift in how you think about money. It's a total mindset upgrade.
So let's wrap this up with the core ideas. Just remember, wealth grows from smart positioning, not just from being busy. Systems will always be more reliable than your own willpower. Owning the whole field is way less stressful than trying to guess the winner. Patience is boring, but it consistently beats excitement. And finally, real financial freedom is built with structure, not by looking for shortcuts.
And so I want to leave you with this one last question to think about. Because whether you've realized it or not, your resources, your money, your time, your focus, they're already positioned somewhere. So the only question left to ask is, are they positioned in a way that's working for you? Or are you still the one doing all the work?